Anxiety. Anxiety is a common condition, and one that most often occurs in older adults. However, it has increasingly become a concern for the younger generation, a generation that doesn't really know that they have it. This short video will help you understand how it manifests itself so that you can recognize it in yourself or possibly someone else in need of help. Let's be honest here. Anxiety is a very delicate topic. Most people will vehemently deny that they're anxious, even though many of them are. Others will tell you that you're simply wrong, no matter what you say or think about their actions. So be very careful when talking about this subject, because the person experiencing anxiety could well be you. And sadly, no matter how much you try to deny it, if you experience anxiety, your whole life will be affected. And even if you're absolutely convinced that you're fine, there will come a point at which the only one you're deceiving is yourself. And therein lies one of the greatest challenges in addressing it. If you don't want to recognize it or refuse to acknowledge you have a problem, how can you manage it or get help for it? It really is amazing. You're out and about, living life, but nobody knows that you're not really doing as well as you appear or as you let on. Everybody thinks you're having a great time, but you yourself know that things aren't quite as good as they seem. Sure, you're at the party, but the people there don't know that you really don't want to be there, or the toll it took just to get you there. It's a bit like wearing a mask. You're the only one that knows that it's not really you. But let's not get bogged down with semantics. Anxiety is a psychological and emotional illness, and it's real. Over time, it erodes a person from the inside. And eventually, it can affect the rest of their life as well. At its extreme, it can affect one's ability to live life to its fullest, and the capacity for doing so is lost. So it's a good idea to know and acknowledge and understand if you really do have an anxiety disorder. Let's consider some of the symptoms, the obvious ones anyway. And if you're exhibiting even a few of these warning signs, it's time to face the truth. Don't just sweep it under the carpet. You need to face the problem directly. You need to seek professional assistance. So consider this. Have you ever done something in your past that you're now sorry for? Is there an event from your past that you regret more than anything else? You know, you can't go back and change time or change what happened. They've already occurred. The best you can do is always strive to learn from those mistakes, made in the past, and move forward to the future. But some take it to a totally different stage. They become really incredibly remorseful and regretful or sorrowful. So how about you? Do you feel a deep sense of sadness and hopelessness? Everyone worries. They worry about something. If they didn't, then somebody should be worrying about them. Because life is, and always will, have worries and challenges. But what if you worry too much? And most of us do, at times. We worry about what might happen, what might occur, and how will we deal with it when it does. No one can really predict what will happen in the future, so we end up focusing on things that might happen in the future. All of this is common, yet if you take it too far, that can be a real indication that you're suffering from anxiety disorder. Your worries tend to go into overdrive and everything seems terrible. Seems like there's no end in sight to the problems you're facing. Everything gets magnified and it seems as though the end of the world is approaching, at least your world. Most anxiety disorders are characterized by extreme worry and nervousness. You worry about what others think, and you're thinking about the worst possible scenario. That's what puts you in a negative emotional state. And your present life becomes more difficult to cope with as you focus on things that may happen in the future. And the fact that they don't necessarily turn out as you expected doesn't relieve you from that worry. And when the thing you were worried about doesn't happen, you move on to the next thing on your worry list. It's as if you're trying to kick the same problem over and over again into the future. When you suffer from anxiety, you'll always find something to worry yourself about in the future. If any of this sounds like you, then you likely have an anxiety disorder, and it's time to take care of it. If you felt like this is something that you experience or someone you know does, and to learn more about the issue, click the link in the description below.